Hello and welcome to Chit Chat and All That with me, Amanda Prowse.
And me, Penny Dommett. Thank you for joining us for your weekly dose of chatter. We'll be talking about all the things that we usually discuss around this kitchen table.
Things that we hope will keep you entertained and occupied while you commute or do your ironing, which seem to be popular listening times for our lovely listeners, Pen, apparently.
Yes, I mean ironing. I remember I used to love ironing.
What?
Never have time now.
Oh, God, how are we even friends?
Ironing is the best. You iron away the creases in your life.
My God.
That's what you do.
Penny, you and
I iron towels.
I'm literally, that was a moment, a silent gasp, because I literally don't know where to go with that.
Yeah, there's nothing worse. I can't sleep on a bed that's not got an iron sheet.
Oh, you're the princess and the pea? I can't, it's got a wrinkle in it, I'm not getting that. You with your 2 acres of garden, all right, we get it. You can, of course, catch up on all previous episodes from wherever you get your podcasts.
Yes, give us a like, subscribe, follow, subscribe again.
Just showing off now. You're just showing off now.
Pull up a chair. Welcome. Join us.
Why
are you laughing?
I'm laughing at you because you're such a nutcase.
Well, I don't like saying the same thing every single time, so I like to change it a bit.
And you do a good job at that, but I still can't believe that you iron your towels.
Yeah,
Bloody hell cares if you're ironing your towels?
Well, it's because I don't own a tumble dryer.
No, you're going to try and justify it now, and you can't.
No, I can. Because this is a very controversial subject. I like a rough towel.
Oi, oi.
I like a rough towel down.
Penelope, hello.
No,
You like a rough towel?
I don't like. I wouldn't own a tumble dryer from a planet-friendly point of view.
No, especially not in your jet plane. They're terrible.
Yes.
Yeah.
But so I don't like them all fluffy. You know, when you go to a hotel and they're all fluffy,
Yeah.
they don't dry you.
I had a horrible experience just last week. I need to share with you. So I'm staying at a hotel.
Poshy,
very nice. I still haven't got 2 acres of garden, but it was a very nice hotel. You think I'm going to let that slip? No. Oh yeah, that's gonna run and run. Approximately got 2 acres. Lovely. But I do like a rough towel. I'm a woman of the people. I've got 2 acres, but I love a rough towel. I was staying at a hotel, and obviously white towels, the only kind to have in any public place. I was just about to use it, and there was a pube threaded through it.
No.
Yeah.
Nobody has pubes that long.
It was threadled. Like literally.
No, they don't.
Like someone had been weaving with it. Was a pube. Penny.
It was just a badly permed
Penny.
hair.
It was a pube. I'm telling you. I know my pubes, Pen, when I see one.
Nobody's is that long.
This was long and pubic, and it was woven into the towel. And I was like, what? Made me gag. What?
Yeah.
And I couldn't. Yeah, that was it.
That wasn't a frog, listener.
No, that was me
Mandy
making a gag
pretending
sound.
to gag.
But when I went down and checked out, I went, how did you stay? And of course I just went, oh, it's lovely, thank you. Because what can you say? It was fine, but there was a pube threaded through the towel.
No, you would take said towel to the what do you call the people that come in?
The people.
The housekeeping people.
Right, yeah.
Housekeeping.
Don't you have housekeepers, Pen?
Strange.
Probably somewhere. They're in a cupboard, I don't know. Keeping my towels rough. This towel is not rough enough. Get back in the cupboard. Please, Mum, I want to walk round your 2 acres. Not until that towel's rougher.
Honestly, I wish I'd never mentioned it.
We all do.
Anyway, I don't like towels that are rough. I mean, I don't like towels that are smooth. I like them to be able to dry me. Where was I going with this in the first place?
You were saying how you would have taken the pube-laden towel down to reception and presented it to someone and said, do you recognise this? Not only is this towel soft and fluffy, which is actually not what I want, but it also has a pubic hair threaded through it.
Anyway, so I get them in off the line, and so they're quite hot because I don't like using fabric conditioner either.
Oh no, I can't be bothered with that.
No, well, I don't like the smell. I mean, when it wafts around and you know that it's from fabric conditioner and not through perfume or cologne or anything else, I can't bear that. Oh, they've obviously washed their stuff in bold or whatever.
Get them.
Yeah. Anyway, so what I do instead is I bring them in and I air them and then I iron them.
Dear listener, I am aware that this is more detail than we need about Penny's towel foul habits, but I'm just going to let her run with it for the next 4 seconds. Carry on, Pen. No, it's interesting.
Well, that's why. That's why I iron them.
Right.
Because they come in a bit crinkly.
And again, we know you don't like a crinkle.
No, I don't like a crinkle. No.
But
so that's me.
And now we know. So what have you been up to, Pen, apart from ironing your bloody towels?
Well, I need to debrief about my amazing visit to the yoga cave.
The what now?
Yoga cave.
As in dark.
Do you not remember? Yeah, Dark Surrender.
I do vaguely remember you
Right.
telling us you were going to go to a yoga cave, and I think I probably took the mick out of you.
You did, and you said something about staying away from the men.
That's right.
If anybody touched you.
I said it was actually just a ruse. There was going to be some bloke in the corner going, "Oh, yes, this is yoga cave. In you come.
Yes.
Strip off and enjoy the darkness." Oh, somebody just touched my leg. No, carry on. Downward dog we go.
No, I must say it was the most amazing experience, amazing hour. As you know, one of my biggest problems is I find it very difficult to relax.
Really, Pep?
Yes.
You know why?
Yes.
Your towels
I
aren't
find it very
soft enough.
difficult to relax, especially on an iron sheet. Try saying that when you're drunk.
We should point out you've had 2 coffees. 3 wheeze, but 2 coffees.
Yes. It doesn't work like that, you know, one in, one out.
I think it does.
Work.
Penny, I think it does.
It doesn't.
So literally, because my bladder's a bit dodge, I literally will go, oh, okay, well, I won't have a drink now because I know I'll have to go in 7 minutes'
that's
time.
bad. You should, apparently, I was told this week, you and I should be drinking 1.5 litres of plain water every day.
I'd never be off the bog.
Well, apparently it's not necessarily like that. It actually is. It is what our body needs.
It's not my body that I'm worried about. It's my bladder and the capacity of my tenor lady.
Yeah, you have,
at any given moment.
a sparrow's bladder.
Says you. Hello, Pop. Jeez. Mrs.
Anyway.
Rothtow, two-acred yoga bloody cave. Carry on.
Anyway, so off we went to this amazing place in Bath called Yoga Cave, spelt with a K.
Ah, clever.
How weird is that?
Yeah.
Yes. Straight away, I could imagine Mandy going, well, I'm not going there because they've spelt it wrong.
Obviously.
Yes. It was a class run by the incredible Alex. She is an absolute pocket rocket of wonderful loveliness. Very, very good yoga teacher. And it's not completely dark. It's just calmingly...
Would we say ambient?
Yes,
Nice.
ambient. Few candles, which slightly freaked me out because I just kept thinking of the fire risk.
Exactly.
Yes. But it's 32 degrees.
Oh,
so it's...
stinky.
No, it wasn't. No, I don't know how it's not stinky, but it's not stinky. But it does make your muscles... It makes your muscles relax easier
And
because
again,
of the heat.
that goes back to the previous point. If my muscles relax, then I'm not going anywhere. I'm slip sliding in a bowl of my own urine. That would never work.
Because most of the time you're lying down and sitting down, so it's fine.
Okay.
Really, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
So the heat, what does that do to you?
It makes me relax. I mean, it's just... It supposedly means that you can... your muscles will relax quicker. You can get into bigger poses for longer. And I really, really enjoyed it. I mean, I would love to say I was critical about it, but I wasn't. It was a very enjoyable hour, and I did come out feeling a lot less creaky, a lot more relaxed. It was good. It was really, really good. And I'm going back.
Oh, that's great,
Yes.
Pen.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything, isn't it, that just takes you away for a little bit and just makes you feel that you've done something for you. That self-love that we talk about and that taking care of you and all that. It's really, really important. So
for me, I do find it very difficult to relax.
I hadn't noticed. You're like a spinning top, mate.
I know, but it's really bad.
You're like
isn't it?
Tornado in human form.
It's just really bad that whenever I sit down, I am sort of scanning the area, thinking of the things that I should do. That's why I love it. When I come here and we do this recording, it is the best thing for me because I actually do sit down, relax, chat. Can't be thinking about the next, weeding I've got to do or pruning I've got to do, and it's just great. I love it.
It's like our enforced playtime, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It really is.
Which is kind of why we started it, really, because it was like a way to force us to take time out. And then we thought, actually, do you know what? If we get benefit from sitting and chatting and just talking garbage and going off at wild tangents, maybe other people will get benefit via listening. So I hope that's what's happening.
We had a lovely message last week from somebody that said that they don't get out very much. And they don't have a huge group of friends.
Yeah.
And that they love listening to the podcast because it makes them feel, they actually sit at a table with a cup of tea and it makes them feel like they're joining in a girls' sort of chat.
Which they are.
Nonsense.
Yeah. So welcome to you.
Yeah.
You know who you are. Thank you for that message. That
it was really good. Yeah,
we love it hearing from people, don't we?
We do. We really do.
Yeah, it makes a difference, actually. No, we'd do it anyway, wouldn't we, Pen?
Yeah,
we'd sit here anyway. If we didn't have listeners, it'd be lovely, but we're very glad they're here. So, my news, my kids have moved to the seaside.
It's exciting when they decide to go. I mean, we spend our lives, don't we, when they're born, thinking, oh my gosh, you know, this little thing that we have responsibility for. But then you can't wait for them to actually become independent.
Yes.
And then
I'm still waiting, Pen.
Yeah, but then when they do, you're quite sad that they have sort of broken that little connection.
Well, we were laughing, Simon and I, because we have a house down on the North Devon coast, as you know. Ilfracombe is my absolute favourite place. And the plan is carry on working as hard as we are and then just go there permanently. Go to Ilfracombe, sit on the beach, walk the trails, eat fresh fish, spend time with the dogs, chat, you know, watch rubbish TV, visit the cinema. Just basically the life that we dream of. That's our dream. And we both work incredibly hard. We put the hours in, but it's worth it because that shines on the horizon like a beacon of escape. You know, one day that will be the life we lead. And now I'm having to contend with the kids sending me pictures like, oh, we had a lovely day. We've been to the beach, walked a trail, eaten fresh fish. I'm thinking, hang on a minute. You're living my retirement. You're there doing it now. And I'm still working. How does that work, Pen?
Well, I mean, they are very, very lucky that they get to do what they enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, they are wonderful. I don't, you know, and as you know, life hasn't always been straightforward or easy for Joshy. He and Sarah obviously engaged, which is amazing.
Very big news, yes.
We are so excited. I'm just over the moon. She's
Do I
amazing.
need to buy a hat?
Oh, hat, do you reckon?
Nah, can't imagine hats.
I thought maybe a fascinator.
Ooh.
Bit of a... No? I can tell by the curl of your top lip, that's not going down well. That's not landing.
I'm not... I think fascinators are a bit passé.
Oh, I'm going to go and Google that. What about a beaded headband?
Yeah, you see, I could do a floral crown.
Yes, I want a floral crown.
Yes. Actually, can you imagine Sarah in a floral crown?
Yes,
she'd look amazing.
she would. She's got a lot of hair.
Yeah.
In fact, her and Josh both have a lot of hair. I said, can you imagine if they ever have a kid? It would be like Cousin It. If they had a child, it would literally be like little Cousin It wandering around with all that hair. That would be so funny. But yeah, so we're all just... Isn't it weird how when something happens in your family, you know, an engagement, a birth, a wedding, whatever it is, it kind of lifts everybody.
Oh, yes.
So even though it's for them, it's the two of them who have got engaged, it's the ripples are felt far and wide.
Definitely.
It's amazing. We're super, super excited. So also, what news have I got? I am doing a collaboration, get me, with Joni, the clothes brand.
Oh, yes, I follow them.
They're fabulous. They're very big on sort of vintage prints and cosy jerseys, and it's right on my street. It's kind of a book lover's paradise, really. And I'm doing a collaboration with them. They are running the Amanda Prowse Joni Book Club.
Oh, wow.
See, you with your book club. I've got my own book club now,
Oh.
Pen. But it's going to run throughout August. I've been interviewed by the amazing Claire McIntosh, who writes thrillers. She's a cracker. She's an absolute brilliant writer and a lovely person. And so she interviewed me for these sessions, and they're going out in August, I think on Joni's YouTube channel. But that's been really exciting and just a different avenue to explore.
Oh, so are we? Am I going to be sitting here with you in a beautiful Joni dress?
I do have a bit of a Joni wardrobe
I love
going
it.
on.
I do like their prints.
Yeah, they're lovely. You mean INTS, not INCE? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, yes, yes. Sorry, I wonder where you were going with that. Yes. No, really, I do like their fabrics.
Yeah, they've got some lovely fabrics, and it's really lovely quality stuff. You know, it sounds like an ad, it's not, but you know, really beautiful quality, and I'm enjoying wearing it.
So is it a British company?
Yes, been going for a little while, but I mean, it's so popular because I think it gets women, And you know, I am not a...
I thought you were going to say, I am a woman.
I am not a tiny, typical, slender, you know, size 8 or 10. I am voluptuous, curvy. I've got a very big bum. I've got biggie boobies. And their clothes go from almost like, I think it's like a 6 up to a 26.
Goodness.
So I love that we can all wear what we want,
Yeah.
and it will flatter you and look good. And I think that's great. It's really sort of catering for everybody.
I think their advertising as well is great because they use lots of different sized examples.
Exactly. Real
I
people.
hate using the word model,
No,
but they
I
use
mean-
different examples in lots of different types of situations.
It's real women, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And I love
totally.
that. And that's important.
Do you think they
actually.
need somebody to be kneeling down weeding?
Yes.
You can stretch up in this dress right to the top of the sweet peas.
Pen, I'll put you forward.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's weird though. I think the kids moving away has been it's been great, and sort of because it's made me realise how far Joshie has come. You know, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you do, but Josh has had a really big struggle with his mental health, and there were times where we didn't know if Josh was going to see the next month, the next year, whatever. So to see him winning at life, thriving, is just amazing through the love of someone who supports him, understands him, doesn't try to change him, but really just helps him live his best life, is the biggest gift anyone can ever ask for their kids. It's amazing. I wanted to ask you, what's the moment you realised that your children were grown-ups? What was the thing that made you go, oh, actually, A, they're not bubbers, and B, they might not need me as much as they did previously?
It's a very strange thing when you are lucky enough that your children go to a rural school.
Yeah.
You become very involved with their schooling. So I was always invited in to be a reader, or I used to run the badminton class, and I used to do the art class, and I used to help with the cookery. We all the mums used to in turns do different things with the kids. So you sort of knew all the children really well and exactly what they were doing.
You weren't doing maths with them, were you?
No,
That
thank
explains
goodness.
a lot. Yeah, so
that definitely no maths. But then they go off to senior school, and it was such a shock because basically you drop them at the door, or in our instance, you didn't even drop them at the door. They got picked up by a coach from the bottom of the drive. I mean, it was odd. I remember going back in the house and bawling my eyes out. It really felt like I'd let them go. You know, that they
abandon
were gone.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they would go off, and then the typical thing, oh, how'd you get on? As they were dropped back off at the door. How did you get on today? What did you do? Nothing.
Yeah.
Did you not? You must have done something. No, really. You know, you get your grunts and you just never really find out what's going on until you go to parents' evening.
Yes.
Oh, why hasn't Joel been at school for the last 6 months? No.
Joel and I had the same English teacher.
Really?
Yeah. Cressida Ingalls. She
Oh,
was amazing.
yes.
Miss
She was
Ingalls.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Very beautiful woman. Still is
Yes.
a very beautiful woman.
But do you know what's really lovely was Joel loved maths. Absolutely loved maths.
Nerd.
I know. He was very good at it as well. But his maths teacher, Mr. Whitaker.
Oh, Mr. Whitaker. Mr. Whitaker.
Yes, Mr. Whitaker. Actually used to go to Joel's gigs when they were in Bristol. When he did one of his first big gigs in Bristol at the Coston Hall, Mr. Whitaker and Mr. Thorne were there.
That's lovely.
And Joel obviously made the most of the comedic section.
Did they go afterwards
Yes.
reprimand him for swearing?
Yes.
Dommett.
But yeah, it
Love that.
was really lovely that they supported him all the way through.
That's really nice.
I mean, Mr. Whitaker said, shame about that, Joel. You'd have done really well if you'd have done maths at university. Instead, you have this weird life. But it's just great when they go off and they do their own thing. But as a mother, you slightly feel bereft that they've gone.
That kind of redundancy.
Yeah.
And I remember when Ben had left, Ben had gone up to live in Liverpool. Josh was at uni. And I remember thinking, I wasn't going to be that mum who was desperate to have the noise, the kids, the cooking. I was just going to crack on with my life. All the things I hadn't been able to do, like stock the fridge and know it was going to stay stocked, you know, hoover the carpet or clean a bathroom or put the loo seat down. All the things that irritated me. I thought this is going to be just brilliant. This is this new, exciting. I think it was about 2 days in and I thought, God, I miss them.
I know.
I miss everything about them. And I
Yeah.
still do, actually. I mean, you know, my kids are hurtling towards 30, which is weird because I'm only 28. I don't know how that's happened to Penny Dommett, but here we are. And And I just remember thinking, I would give anything. And even now, when they're all back home, which is rare at the same time, to have them all sleeping under my roof, I love nothing more.
Well, it's about the only time that I switch my phone off. Because
Yes.
you know that all the people that you love and
Who are
care
going to
about-
need to call you. Yeah,
are under
exactly.
the same roof.
Exactly right.
But it actually, when we have children, what we really, really want is for those children to grow up and have their own characters, their own opinions, their own independence. But then when they do it, you actually don't want them to do that.
No, exactly right.
But in reality, we do.
Yeah, of course we do.
We want them
Want to
have
fly
and
be free.
Yeah, totally.
But also call your mother
Yeah.
occasionally.
I'm quite lucky. Funnily enough, we were just before we started this, my phone was ringing and it reminded me that I needed to switch it off. And it was Joel ringing. See, so I am very lucky.
Yeah.
They do call me regularly.
Have you got one that calls more than the other?
No, not really. I mean, they're both really good. I mean, occasionally, Robert will say, "Oh, I think you should call your mother. She's feeling a bit fed up."
She's found a wrinkle on the sheet or the towel's a bit soft. You better call her or send some flowers. It's desperate here.
But no, I am lucky. They are pretty good. Normally it's because they want something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's and going back to your first question, I think you really know that this is starting to happen. This independence and breaking away from you is starting. When Joel said, "Mum, please don't buy my pants anymore."
Is it last week?
Yeah, he didn't want them with Superman on anymore. Yeah, that's it.
He was 34.
Yeah.
That's really weird when you went by his phone. I think for me, it was just the fact that they get from A to B without saying to me, "Can I have a lift?"
Yeah.
Or, can you take me? It's like the fact that they're independent. They just go wherever they want in the world. And they do. I mean, Ben's in Canada now, which feels a very long way away. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
And you're right. It's all the things we want for them. And yet we sort of lament it a little bit.
Yeah, when you get it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't, as you know, I'm a granny in waiting. I always have been. And I can't wait for that. And I think that must be a strange moment or a turning point, isn't it? When your baby has a baby.
It is the best, I can honestly say, it is one of the best things in your life. I mean, but then again, I am very lucky.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the heartbreak of having a grandchild and not being able to see it?
No, I can't.
Or it being a situation where you can't see them. I mean, it's hard enough having one of my grandchildren 2 hours away, let alone, further. Although I know someone whose daughter lives in Singapore and she has the most amazing time because twice a year she goes over and she spends a whole month 24/7 with those children. And that sort of keeps them going for the rest of the year.
Yeah, but Pen, that day she has to leave. I mean, I just find it, I keep saying to Ben and Kate, Canada's nice, but because the idea of my grandbabies being in Canada, that's a bit too far for me to nip in and look after them and babysit.
But you would be there for a period of time.
Of course I would, yeah.
My sister lived in France for a while and I was heartbroken when she told me she was going.
Yeah.
But in actual fact, it was a very different relationship while she was there and almost more in depth. Because instead of just popping in for 5 minutes and not really getting any depth to your lives together, you were there the whole... So from the moment you get up in the morning and she's bringing you a cup of tea to the moment you go to bed at night and she's making you a hot water bottle, sounds like all she did was look after me. That
it
wasn't
does
the
sound
case.
very much like that.
It really was very special. Very special.
I like that.
It was lovely.
I must admit, I like going... So Paul and Stevie live in Tunbridge. And I love going to stay with them because it is intense. I do get to see Arlo the moment he goes to bed and the moment he wakes up, which is really nice.
Yeah.
And it is different when they just pop in, you're right. But yeah, I
love that name. Do you know, when I first met you and you said about the name Arlo, and I thought, that's unusual. I've never heard of that name before. Never heard of that name. And it's becoming really there's quite a few Arlos popping up now.
Yeah, I think it is.
Where had they heard of the name from?
I don't know. I think, and I might be getting this wrong, I think it's a musician.
Oh, is it?
Because Paul and Stevie are both very musical, and I think it might be a musician. But I might be completely wrong. I have to check. But it's like Noah, when my other nephew was called Noah, and I didn't really know any Noahs apart from the Notebook, obviously, the Noah. and the one with the ark. But it was like, oh yeah, Noah, that's a great name.
It is a lovely
And now
name.
it's the most common name. But I love that too. It's so important, isn't it, to give your kids a name they can do anything with.
Whilst we are on the subject of Paul, your lovely brother, I must just mention, because I was reading to my grandson the other day, the lovely book that you wrote with Paul doing the amazing illustrations, The Smile That Went a Mile.
Oh, yeah.
It is just such a lovely book, but the way he draws, I love it. I absolutely love it.
That was one of the first books he did, Pen. But his illustrations have got better and better. He's a really clever artist.
Really, really clever.
He always was.
But I love the way he draws Arlo.
Yes, yeah.
I mean, even if you haven't ever seen the real Arlo, the drawing of Arlo in the book,
it's true,
is amazing.
Arlo looks like a cartoon character.
Yes,
he's got sort of like big glasses,
yes.
And he's really engaging. And he's one of these kids who, when he looks at you, he sort of turns his head to one side and really studies you. It's very sort of, he's an amazing kid.
And Emily's lovely.
Yeah, Emily's lovely.
It is definitely, if you have grandchildren, probably what age?
Well, we
5,
say
6?
3 to 5 read 2 and 5 to 6, 7 read along. Is what we kind of that's
it is. It is absolutely the loveliest book.
Thanks, Pen. He'll be chuffed to hear that.
Yeah,
but he's really clever.
It really is.
And also a gardener now, Paul. Obviously, learning your trade.
I know. I keep thinking he should come and stay for a little while and help me get everything done.
He would love that, Pen. Yeah. He's learning a lot about conservation. He's caring for pigs.
Oh, really?
So I
didn't know about pigs.
He's got pigs and orchards.
Oh, to look after.
Yeah, and he's looking after pigs and orchards and learning an awful amount. But I think he's loving being outside when the weather's decent.
I thought we could come to some collaboration.
Hello?
Because somebody told me that I really needed to get some better photographs to put on Instagram and Facebook page and things of me in the cutting garden.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, oh, hello, Paul, come and visit, do a bit of weeding, take a few photographs. I'll impart a bit of my knowledge.
Yeah, it should take 4 minutes. That'd be marvellous, yeah. He would love that, and he would love your garden too. He loves learning, you know, he loves it. And he learns by watching others and doing rather than,
So when you were at school, I was the type of person, I could only learn something. All my revision, I had to rewrite everything down.
Yes.
Because if I write it, I remember it. I can't just read it.
That is a method, isn't it? That's a method. That's how you stored it away, through writing.
Yes. So I used to have pages and pages and pages
That's so funny.
of writing. Because if I didn't write it down, I wouldn't remember it.
So I am, as you know, I have an incredible memory. And this is really weird. So I found exams incredibly easy. Because, it's not all roses. I used to literally sit in a lesson, remember everything they'd said, remember everything I'd seen in the book. And then in an exam, I could quote verbatim, just regurgitate what was in my head. So what I'd read and what the teacher had said, it'd be like, oh yeah, that's okay. She said that and I'll just write that down. And so I have the most incredible array of qualifications with the highest grade. This is absolutely true. Yeah, honestly, this is incredibly true. I have like 15 O-levels because I found it so easy. Brilliant grades. However, here's the kicker. I don't know the subject. I have sort of like, let's say, I don't know what I got, A in geography. My geography is appalling. I don't know where one country is to the next. I can't navigate anywhere. I can't really point to things on a map. But I could right now write you an essay about an oxbow lake because it's in my head. Or I could talk about rock strata or formation. But actually, my general geography, my world knowledge is really tiny. It doesn't mean I knew the subject because it just shows you what a load of old pants these exams were.
Yeah.
Because I've got the qualification in it. But do I know it? No.
It's really weird. I mean, I always used to be told that when you sat a job interview, what they were interested in was how many exams you managed to do at the same time. Yeah. That if you managed to get 15 O-levels over a period of 5 years, meant nothing.
I did mine in 2 sittings. Yeah. So we did an early sitting at the beginning of the year, and then we did the regular sitting in the summer when everyone else did it. But yeah, because I found them so easy. So people were like, oh my gosh, look at all these O-levels. This is incredible. It doesn't mean I'm clever. It means I've just got a good memory. And the two are very different things.
I used to hate exams. I used to come out in a cold sweat, especially maths.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, literally, it used to make me ill. And yet, other exams, I was one of those people that used to have to work really hard, really revise, and then I'd get a C if I was lucky.
I'd have let you copy me. I would. Not that you'd have wanted to.
Yeah. But exams are a funny thing.
They are, and they're not a great marker of smartness.
No.
What are they? I mean, Joshy, absolutely the most brilliant brain. You know, he is scientific, he is very lateral thinking, he's just brilliant. He just didn't ever, exams just weren't his thing. He's so dyslexic, I mean, chronically dyslexic. And he was like, I don't understand why it can't be a measure of how clever I am. And it took us years to explain to him that it's not a measure of how clever you are. It's a measure of how well you can take an exam in that environment.
Yeah.
You know, my brother Simon, probably the smartest person I know. Definitely the smartest out of all four of us. I don't think he had a single qualification, but he was absolutely brilliant, whip smart.
Yeah.
You know, really smart.
It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I have a friend who...
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
I'm your friend.
She has, I think she went to Cambridge. Fascinating woman, actually. She was at Cambridge at the same time as people like Stephen Fry and Hugh Laurie.
Amazing.
And people like that.
Oh, I bet she's got some tales.
She used to be a director of Footlights, Cambridge Footlights.
Oh, wow.
So she used to
I'd
tell
love to
all
talk
these
to her,
amazing
Pet.
stories. Yeah, amazing stories. And her son, Alex, is the same age as Joel, and they are still really good friends.
Love
which is
that.
Lovely. Yeah, lovely. But she is a very, very clever person, very clever, but has no interest in what I'd call general knowledge of life. You know, she wouldn't know how to clean a bin or...
A woman after my own heart.
Or make sure that the windows were washed not in direct sunlight.
But the thing is, Penny, you see, it's not only that I don't know how to do those things, it's that I cannot understand why they're important.
Yes, I agree.
That's the thing, isn't it? But it wouldn't do for us all to be the same, would it, Penny?
No, definitely not.
No, it definitely wouldn't.
not.
Oh my gosh, do you know what? There we go again. That is another podcast rattled through because we forget that we're being recorded. You and me having a chat.
We're just chatting.
The best thing I've learned is that you have another interesting friend that I now want to meet.
Yes, yeah, very fascinating.
She in your book club?
No.
Oh, there you go.
She
Two of us on the
moved
outside
away,
then.
I'm afraid. Yeah. Yeah. But we do have some very fun characters in our book club.
You certainly do. I love your book club.
You could write a book about book clubs.
I could.
Yeah.
I won't, but yeah. Everyone, thank you so much for joining us for another episode. Keep an eye out for our next one, which drops, as you know now, every Friday. Do tell your friends, do follow us, and keep up to date on our Insta page. The address is...
At the Chit Chatters.
Thank you, Pen. And thank you to Mason Wilkins, our producer, who is phenomenal. Do-do-do-do-do.
And puts up with all the nonsense.
All the
and
shenanigans,
giggling.
all the giggling. I mean,
Yes.
Pen, if he wasn't there to take out half the giggling, can you imagine how bad it would be?
Well, it would be an entire podcast episode of
Giggle
giggling.
fest.
Yeah.
It would be a giggle fest, yeah. So thanks, Mace. And if you're thinking of starting a podcast, do you know what? It's brilliant fun. It's very straightforward. If you want to know how we've done it, if you have any questions, pop them in a little message to us. We'd be happy to answer. And Mason Wilkins is available for production. He is incroyable. That was French, Penny. Okay. Thank you so much. Until next time. Take care.
Bye.